Do you feel like you've heard Danny Boy, that beloved classic song, enough times? Yes, Vince Gill did as well. What made him decide to include it on his most recent album, then? What gives? All that really needs to be known is that this song, which has one of the greatest voices in country music, will have you crying and heaving sighs. Naturally, moments like this are what country fans love for, and Gill even more so. Fortunately, that's the reason he continues to do it for the rest of us. This time, Danny Boy can be found amidst 10 other equally amazing tracks on Gill's most recent album, Sweet Memories, the music of Ray Price and the Cherokee Cowboys, which he co-wrote with renowned steel guitarist Paul Franklin. After collaborating on Bakersfield, 2013, which included Buck Owens and Merle Haggard's music, Gill and Franklin released Sweet Memories, their second album together. Although both projects are classified as tribute CDs, they are really much more like playgrounds for the creative imaginations of the two guys who have similar tastes. Whenever they discuss the album, the word fun comes up. They claim that learning and enjoying new music, choosing the songs, and entering the studio to blend their distinct voices, Gill's lovely tenor and Franklin's silky steel, was enjoyable. For the two men, choosing Ray Price's music was an act of love as much as enjoyment. Both knew Price personally and have been longtime admirers of the country music icon and his elite group, the Cherokee Cowboys. Throughout his illustrious career as a performer, guitarist, and songwriter, Gill encountered his idol on multiple occasions. The two collaborated on Franklin's most recent album, Beauty Is. The final sessions, which was recorded in 2013, shortly after Price's pancreatic cancer diagnosis. That December, he passed away at the age of 87. According to Gill, Ray has a long history of being respected by all those people because of his singing style. They would say, "That's the guy," to the man. There you have the singer. In reality, Gill and Franklin both made appearances on numerous tracks of Willie Nelson's 2016 tribute album. Nelson briefly played bass in Price's band in the early 1960s. Nelson primarily selected songs from Price's hit parade, such as his groundbreaking shuffle, Crazy Arms, whose catchy 4/4 beat quickly became popular across the nation, his heartbreaking Make the World Go Away, his sultry For the Good Times, and his masterwork Night Life, which Nelson wrote and features a distinctive steel intro. Franklin remembers, "He was bringing us songs we'd never heard before. I quickly realized that I had no idea, even though I thought I was a deep study on Ray Price." After making their choices, Gill and Franklin looked into the songs more, only to find that a long list of other legendary country musicians, including Tillis, Hank Cochran, Marty Robbins, and Bobby Bare, all members of the Country Music Hall of Fame, had written the tunes. The songs, which cover 20 of Price's arguably most significant years throughout the course of his more than six-decade career, are all characterized by the classic sound that is dear to Gill and Franklin. The first, Weary Blues from Waitin', was composed by Hank Williams in 1951. Price, the honky-tonk mainstay of the country, contributed an uncredited verse to the song. The title tune, Sweet Memories, which is Price's 1971 rendition of a Mickey Newberry-penned pop hit by Andy Williams, marks the conclusion of the musical voyage. In 1979, Nelson added it to the country chart. One More Time, 1960, Danny Boy, 1967, and You Wouldn't Know Love, 1970, were the only three songs to reach the country's top 10, and none of them were #1 singles. Gill remembers, "I thought we could make Danny Boy a new showpiece for steel guitar if we put the right changes into this. The focus was primarily on giving the steel guitar a nightlife-esque presence. Thus, I responded, yeah, I believe I can sing it. Although I've never attempted to sing it, I will try." It's not as if he was unaware of the song's potential potency, which was bolstered by a meeting with Price. Gill enjoys recounting a conversation they had at a previous private occasion in which they split a bill. Price's rendition is grandiose, whilst Gill and Franklin's is more personal. Recorded in the studio, with every artist present, a rare occurrence in modern times, it also became a unique occasion for Franklin. According to Franklin, I'd been a fan of Vince Gill's for 40 years, and I thought I had heard him sing pretty much every style of music, but it was like he went to a different place when he started singing this traditional song. A spiritual conversation was taking place with the band. That was one of those rare instances in my career where everything seemed to come together seamlessly. They have a history and an idolization of George Jones, Conway Twitty, and Little Jimmy Dickens, and these musicians are on their short list. Franklin contributed to multiple albums by Jones. Gill toured with Twitty and Jones, sang harmony on Twitty's albums, and was friends with Dickens at the Opry. There's a thoughtfulness and a deep connection underlying all of this, remarks Gill. The individuals you love the most should be honored. You know, that's a nice way to approach life.